All right. Okay, we're good. Just making sure the mic and everything's working. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm Matt Williamson.
I'm Jacqueline Lauer.
And I am Corey McFan.
And you're watching Marietta College Esports. So it's a little cozy in here, but that's okay because we have not one, but we have two Super Smash Brothers matches coming at you. The Pioneers are going to be playing against Defiance in just a few minutes. And then afterwards, they'll be playing against Tiffin as part of the Great Lakes Esports Conference. I think we're going to have some very exciting matchups. They're already in the lobby, so we need to go over who's playing for today. So we have I don't know what the order, I don't know who's going first. But I do know that we will have sophomore Zach Lane, the Weed, playing. We will have sophomore Mackenzie McDonald, Inava. I'm finally getting it right.
Yeah.
And our captain, freshman Mason Rice, Cheshire, playing. And, of course, we have our head coach, Derek Games. All right, we'll go over a couple quick announcements. So first, give a shout out to HyperX for being the official peripheral sponsor for Marietta College Esports. They have provided our facility with keyboards, mice, headsets, mouse pads, microphones. The quality is great. Very durable, too. If you want to get your own HyperX gear, please be sure to go to hyperx.gg/MariettaES. The QR code is up on your screen. Also give a shout out to Over the Moon Pizza for their support. So every Tuesday, they have their Marietta College night. So students can go there and show their ID and they get a discount on pizza and drinks and other food. They'll have their Switch up and you can also play some Super Smash Brothers there along with some Mario Kart. I think they have Mario Party as well. I don't remember.
I've not been there in a bit.
Yeah, we got to go back there.
Yeah.
But they do that on Tuesdays, so definitely go check them. And not only that, they also air the matches that we have on Tuesdays, or they'll put up something on our YouTube channel if we don't have a live match. So definitely go check them out on Tuesdays on Front Street. Okay, so it looks like Defiance is already ready, and is Inava starting?
Inava will be starting with their Min.
Okay.
A little bit of a different lineup for me.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, sometimes you want to change up the order because one of the things about this with it being a crew battle, I think the order of who you pick does play a factor because, I mean, there's different strategy. I mean, you can go with your strongest player and try to get an early lead, but that could be a high risk, high reward. Maybe you have someone kind of the mid-tier is kind of like a scouting possibility. So there's a whole variety of different ways of deciding how you want to start off your crew battles. Okay, so I don't know if Marietta is ready just yet. I know they're talking over in the Discord thread, so I think we're going to start right at 10 Eastern time. And just so everyone's aware, we are on a 3-minute delay, so by the time you watch it, well, 3 minutes have already gone by. But we do that for competitive integrity purposes, although I don't really think there's a way to stream snipe a Super Smash Brothers match. But, okay, so it's looking like that we are getting, and we are okay.
Smash right.
Yeah, Smash right, and it looks like we're going to see
A Min versus King K. Rool.
I don't know if the team's gone up against a Karul before.
They've gotten a few bots that have done it, but K. Rool is a bit harder to know than other heavies like DDD and Bowser, so it's interesting to see this one. I know that early on in her career, one of the other players who hasn't been able to play this semester, Gonzo, was looking at King K. Rool to main when they were switching from the lighter characters. And that's an immediate stock off.
I always hated playing against King K. Rool when I played Smash. Right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm zoning out a little bit.
And King K. Rool, okay, so he's got a lot of berry moves, which those, for most other characters, are extremely rare if they have them in their toolkit, but not so for King K. Rool. So a lot of characters, like, you have the grabs, and you can tend to mash out of those, and then they get throws. But King K. Rool has the berries, which will be a guaranteed stop, and again, you need to mash through, but King K. Rool doesn't just have to do the jabs or the throws. He can do a lot more.
Yeah, we're seeing he's using his gun as kind of like a launching mechanism. He's throwing the crown, so he has some ways to do some long-range attacks. And I'm going to guess those cannons can hit really hard.
Yeah, I think they hit harder than even King Dedede's, oh, I don't know what they're called, but they're little spiky things.
Oh, yeah, I think they're called Goros? I think they're Goros.
Yeah. But you did see, like, that gun doesn't have too much of range when it comes to sucking things in, unlike Dedede and Kirby actually have a longer range with their sucking, as well as Yoshi. And it looks like he was edge guarding with that cannon, but Min Min still sticks in, but doesn't get the up B.
Yeah.
Seems like that King K. Rool is going to be a tough opponent to take down.
Again, heavies hit hard, they're hard to launch, and when it comes to fighting a heavy, you either need someone who can go toe-to-toe with them, or you need someone that can run away and throw them away. So, like, Kirby's tend to be good against heavies, and other heavies tend to be good against heavies.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to see heavy versus heavy. Cheshire is going to be coming out with a Bowser. It looks like they've done their scouting to kind of see how K. Rool plays. So we'll see how Cheshire plays against him.
Now that K. Rool was able to use a lot of the mixed attacks to almost play kind of a zoner style. With the only physical moves that really were shown were the bearing moves. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yep.
Yep.
There we go.
Alright, so the big thing is, can Cheshire close that gap and get some stock off? Preferably eliminate K. Rool.
And even it up, yeah. Seeing a lot of... I don't know exactly what that move is called. I know that there's spot dodging, which is when they're moving out of the way and getting in between the hurt frames. And more edge guarding seen from that K. Rool. This is they're very skilled in it, but it looks like Cheshire is trying to go for that the throwing move, which, you know, can be used as a suicide tactic, which, you know, like, will take a stock off Bowser, but if push comes to shove, it would be good if you need to just eliminate another player and take your own loss, but kind of kamikaze.
He went for the dodge and he's not able to use his up B.
Yep. There's some more of the forward airs, and now K. Rool is without a crown, which, similar to Rosalina and Luma, how we saw, like, that takes a bit to recover if you've thrown it away. So in between the times of, like, having the crown and not, that move is gone. Ooh, and another whiff from... Looks like he was trying to do a chase and accidentally pressed B and the up just did not want to connect, and that sometimes happens with the controls. And there's the mash to get out of that grab. The K. Rool seem to be just a bit too greedy with trying to get all those jabs off before trying to make his throw. And again, that crown boomerang, but...
Let's take a stock off the King K. Rool.
Yep.
But the problem is now he's in kill. And that up smash.
The up air versus the down air, like, depending on who gets the attack off last, usually gets priority. But Marietta did get a stock off that K rule.
But now they still have 8 to take care of it, to try to stay in this match. So it'll be interesting to see what the lead goes for. I mean, we've seen it on the Little Mac, and it looks like that's what he's going to be leaning towards. We've seen the Violet before, but going to go with the Little Mac in this matchup.
I'd say Little Mac is good. Little Mac, it would be, even though this K rule is going off for those edges, Little Mac hates the edges. So Little Mac's priority is going to be staying in that center. And, you know, even if he gets knocked off, he will be dropped right back into the center of the stage. And even though heavies are hard to launch, Little Mac has great launching power and really strong smash attacks, even really strong base attacks.
3, 2, 1, go!
That K rule trying to go.
Yeah, realize he needs to drop a stock first.
Yeah. Here's their taunts. And the crown is now off the... There are cracks in the armor now. So that's an interesting thing. So K Rool's counter deals with his belly. Oof.
Yeah, he's going to try to keep Little Mac in the air as much as possible and try to launch him as far as possible because he knows the recovery isn't as strong.
And there's the counter, which recovers that belly. So the belly itself is automatic super armor. So if it's cracked and it leads to... If it's cracked, then it won't really work as its super armor. Similar to Link's shield, I believe that super armor can just make any and all projectiles not work. And of course, K Rool has a very nasty recovery based on his games. With the jetpack. Well, the DK games, I should say.
The great uppercut. Tries to go for the finisher, but doesn't connect.
But both grabs are whiffed, and it looks like that's what the K Rool's trying to go for. And okay, Mac does have that KO punch, so let's see if he can connect it. Oh, just barely spot dodged. And that is going to be the first match.
But yeah, I mean, only dropping one stock on the K Rool. It's like it seemed like there was just a struggle to figure out how to counter K Rool.
Yeah. One thing that I would say would be good against K Rool is probably going Bowser first next time to try to just get that heavy on heavy fight. And because they know that this K Rool is going to go for a lot of edge control, do the best that they can to stay in that center. And I know that Cheshire mentioned one of the best things to do is an up B out of shield, which I have not seen throughout the matches.
Yeah, and I mean, they didn't necessarily know that they were going to be going up against a K Rool right from the get-go. But it looks like Marietta is going to lead with Cheshire, just to, depending on whatever Defiance goes with. Most likely, I can see them bringing in someone else to start. That way they change it up. So they're just going to be going in blind to see what that matchup's going to look like.
Yep. I mean, it's not fun if, like, only one player gets to play.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm seeing, it's going to come down to if Marietta can take down that King K Rool or not. Really. Because we have no idea what the other two are, so that's all we have to go off of.
And who's to say that the person who plays K Rool doesn't play something else? So even if they have K Rool, they might bring something else the next time that there's a matchup to change things up. But we shall see. I think we're just still waiting on... Yeah, we're just waiting for everything to be set up.
Looks like Marietta's waiting for Defiance to be ready, so we might need to put Marietta on. No, or they're gonna stay on the left.
Yeah, we should be starting very soon. Yeah, there we go. Things like they're ready, so we're gonna see what the matchup is.
Smash left.
I think they're just waiting for the okay.
They're going for a Ken.
Now we haven't seen a Ken in any of the matches before.
So I know that characters like Ken, Ryu, Kazuya, Terry all have their combos from their own games. So if you play Street Fighter and you know all of the combos for Ken and Ryu, you are bound to know the characters in Smash. But because they're such popular like fighter characters already, there can be people who like studied them before.
We're gonna see one stock dropped, and a good recovery by the Ken. It almost seemed like it was a missed input.
Yeah. I almost thought that he was homie stalking. There's Bowser going for that big, and he's trying to chase off the stage using the up B for the damage and getting in that spot dodge to get that. I think that's a side smash.
Looked like it. We're seeing Ken putting a ton of damage onto Bowser.
Bowser's playing around that edge, but Ken is going for all those uppercuts to really do some damage. If my prediction is if the Weed tries to play this Ken, I'd say my recommendation would probably be that the Weed go with the Byleth instead of Little Mac, mostly because while he is going for that post-combat quarters, he does have that zoning move, and he's going for a lot of things that juggle. Which Bowser's able to get out of because we see that down air. And we see a shield break, so that character is... Shield breaks are really hard to get, but when they're able to get it, it's just... You can't move, you can't do much.
So, great opportunity there to tie it up. Still has a lot of damage, but it is much closer than it was earlier.
And he's learning he's learning the patterns that this person is going for. And that uppercut was not in kill percentage. Looks like that Cheshire was trying to go for another shield break. Didn't quite get it, but he's still doing a lot of damage. But there's the uppercut again.
Yeah, he got stunned himself.
Very unlucky there.
But still getting 2 stocks off the Ken does at least keep it relatively even. So we'll see. Looks like they're going to go with the Weed next. So let's see if he does go with the Byleth.
He's going with the Little Mac. He does only need 1 stock to get off, so if he can get in those quick in and out jabs to the uppercut or the KO punch, he could be able to get that Ken out quickly.
That's very possible. I think he's going to try to go for the quick KO.
Changing sides on me.
So this Ken needs to remember to drop those stocks.
He does. Okay, looks like they're ready.
And immediately Little Mac is going for all those quick little moves. But I think the mistake there was trying to get onto the stage so quickly that he left so much airtime. But if he gets this KO punch, if he gets a bit more damage and then gets the KO punch, he should be able to. But now we're seeing the zoner side of Ken. I would say my recommendation here would not be shielding, but trying to hop over the... There it is!
But it's just not enough damage to finish him off, but still a huge hit.
Yep. Ooh.
But that counter and stun by Ken.
Still, Little Mac only needs one stock off. Seems like they are both trying to get just out of each other's way.
Yeah, it looks like Little Mac got the counter off. But
There's Ken's counter. There's another KO punch, and this percentage would kill. Oh, but he whiffs it! Oh!
good recovery.
I think there was just like one frame shy of like not getting it. That was really impressive. And there's the charge up smash. It's gonna try to get a bunch of pressure onto that Ken. Whiffs the uppercut. And trying to charge up that smash attack. Oh, but there's the uppercut to the screen kill. He is so close, but...
He's got to be careful to keep his composure, but Ken is going to try to go an all-out assault to try to take him out quickly. And Lee just needs one good hit to knock him off.
There's that counter.
And that uppercut is going to finish him off, and they're just not able to get that stock.
It just leaves Marietta with the one player left to take down 7 stock off of Defiance. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, well, it'll be Inava with the Min Min.
Choose your fighter. Min Min.
The one thing that does go well for Min Min is those long range attacks. So getting some hits in, getting some combos might be able to get that stock, that last stock off the Ken.
Especially if her animations do take place, because the way that the Ken is fighting is trying to get really close and personal into other people's areas. But Min Min is able to, with the long jumps, able to hop over the stage. And what you really need to do as a Min Min, it looks like they're going to the left side now.
Always changing it up on me.
That's why we have the 2 overlays for that situation.
Always changing it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the Min Min is... If Inava is able to keep away from that Ken, then things should be okay.
Right. You remember. Okay, so here we go.
Once again, closing that gap and just knocking off Inava's Min Min right away.
Yeah, the strategy seems to be to just try to get him off the edge as much as possible and make it difficult to recover. But he's not worried about the close range combat.
Yeah, and Min Min doesn't do too well with the close range combat, so even though Min Min is a hand-to-hand combat fighter, Min Min needs that longer range because, again, the hands are the things that do the damage, the arms themselves do not. getting a meteor smash off. Under 2 minutes and already 2 stocks gone.
Not be able to do a whole lot of damage onto the Ken. As you're saying, like, they need the long hits, but if Ken is able to bypass that and go straight onto Min Min, it's not going to take any damage.
Yep. But
we're
there's
seeing there
some misinput.
But one stock in a dream.
Yep.
One stock in a dream.
Now we'll see what Defiance wants to go with. Because they also get to choose the map as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I have no idea what they're going to go. I don't think they'll bring out the K rule yet. They'll probably bring out their third player who hasn't had a chance to play yet.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, again, you do want... Everyone wants a chance to play. Bringing out the K rule I think that would be just salt in the wound.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
And once again, changing it up on you. Marietta's on the right now.
Dang it.
It's alright.
A Min Min versus Donkey Kong.
That is an interesting choice, because if I remember right, Donkey Kong isn't supposed to be very good.
You'd be surprised. There are some moves that are just fun to use as Donkey Kong.
Charge B.
Yep.
There is something satisfying about getting that charge B off.
And that Donkey Kong is just spamming their taunts.
But we're seeing Min Min doing very well with those long-range hits.
Oh yeah. And even, like, Min Min seeming to get close. Min Min seems to know, like, where the hitboxes are for DK. And just how much length she would need to go.
There's probably does hit very hard. And that's
There's
gonna,
the...
yeah, just like that, getting Min Min far enough away to not be able to get the...
not be able to get the grapple.
But alright, so with that, Defiance will take the series 2-0. And I think a lot of it just comes down to the team's still very new. We have to keep that in mind. This is their first semester playing against other students from other schools and going up against matchups they haven't seen necessarily online. Because when you play against people online, I mean, you're going to get a wide range of
You're
skills.
going to get anyone from people who are training for professional tournaments to kids who are just trying to have fun.
Yeah, so a lot of it right now is learning about the different types of matchups, because we haven't seen a K rule in matches yet. We haven't seen Ken, so just learning those play styles. And I think what's going to happen is over the weeks, like even if they don't take a whole lot of matches, getting that knowledge going into the fall semester is where we're really going to see that improvement, because they have a season under their belt. They know what the matchups are like. So this is going to be a good learning experience for the team.
Yeah, very good learning experience.
Yeah.
And they seem to still be having fun.
Oh, yeah. So, but we're not done yet, because we still have another match around 11 o'clock.
Yep.
So about a half hour away, they'll be playing against Tiffin. So what we're going to do is we'll keep the stream up. We'll take a break.
Go get something to eat, come back.
Yeah, get some breakfast, get some coffee, bagels, donuts, whatever you need. And we will start back up again in, probably about a half hour. And we'll see that matchup. So, yeah, we'll be back in a half hour. Thanks, everyone.